The entire front end looks like it was wet sanded and looks like crap. The backup camera. It is at like a 90-degree angle. The steering wheel should be, straight like that, but it's not. It's like that because the roof bolts aren't tight. So here are two brand new golf carts, both purchased within a week ago by two really excited families. But instead of the carts being out on the road, providing the family with a bunch of fun, they're sitting here in our shop getting worked on, providing the family with nothing but frustration. Why? Well, stick around because I'm going to explain to you why each and every year there's thousands of people just like these families that purchase a brand new golf cart and they're super unhappy with it. Also later in the video, I'm going to give you a little insight into a checklist that every single brand new golf cart should be taken through before it's in the owner's possession. And last but not least, to finish the video, I'm going to show you why brand new does not necessarily mean perfect. So this Evolution D5 was just purchased from a dealership by one of those families that I was referring to earlier. And within just one day of ownership, they noticed that it was riddled with issues and asked us, hey, will you check this cart out? Because we bought it and it has a boatload of issues. We had already talked to this family prior, before they bought this from another dealership, and we had just mentioned how thorough you have to be to make sure that these carts are gone through, prepped, checked, all that stuff before it's customer ready. And they knew that information, and now they recognize that this dealer they bought from barely touched the dang thing. Now they don't really trust them to actually take it through a proper checklist, so now they're asking us to. So I agreed and said, yes, let's bring the cart in. We're gonna film what we're doing to it to help the masses. So let's check this cart out. So the very first thing we noticed that was wrong with this cart is the alignment is terrible. Not only is it towed in an inch, but when you're driving straight down the road, the steering wheel should be, straight like that, but it's not. It's like that when you're going straight down the road. So the second thing we noticed right away was the backup camera. It is at like a 90-degree angle. Another extremely easy fix. The third thing we noticed right away is turn signals. Turn signal mirror there, turn signals in the headlights, left turn signal, works in the headlights. Nothing in the left side. Still working in the headlight though. Not the mirror. The first thing the family actually recognized when the cart was wrong was how badly the center pod was scratched. I got my handy dandy light right here, and this whole thing is just like, I don't know what that was, sandpaper or what, I have no clue, but it is messed up. While I was driving it to get the alignment correct, I noticed I heard a bunch of rattling while I was driving the cart around because the roof bolts aren't tight. As I was driving it even more, I heard more rattling from underneath me, so I started checking around and noticed that the bolts that you tighten the battery down to the frame with were not tight. Then when I was checking it out for the cosmetic issues, I noticed that there was still plastic behind the windshield, so they were too lazy to take it off the strut. Then I noticed that the windshield hardware wasn't even tight. It was just finger tight. And then last but not least, probably the most obvious one of all is the entire front end looks like it was wet sanded to fix some paint issues or scratches, but then was never buffed. Everything is just completely rubbed raw and looks like crap. So this club car Onward was just purchased 5 days ago from a dealership from the other family I was referring to, and they called us after they had the cart and asked us if they could bring it in and we could install a sound system on it. Well, they brought it in and we couldn't help but notice that there was a few things wrong with it. Now, it's not nearly as bad as the Evolution. It's definitely worth mentioning. I want to show you that this happens on all OEMs and all makes and models of golf carts, not just Evolutions. It happens even on club cars too. The first thing we noticed was the alignment was towed out like an inch. Instead of driving straight down the road with the steering wheel, like that, with the alignment correct, it is like this, going straight down the road. Just unacceptable. The second thing I noticed when I was driving it around, when you install club car mirrors, yes, they clamp on the struts, but you're also supposed to tighten this 10mm bolt or nut under here. They didn't tighten anything. So every time they hit the wind or every time it hits a bump, this thing just flaps around like that. And then the craziest thing. So when Club Car ships their carts, they ship them with the footrest tilted up like this. You have to remove a couple nuts and bolts, push the footrest down, and then retighten it. Well, they pushed the footrest down, but they didn't tighten anything. They didn't put the nuts and bolts back through this hole right here and these holes down here. Nothing. They just let it go And I left the dealership like that, and ended up in these customers' hands like that. So it's just 2 nuts and bolts holding that footrest on. So not very safe. So why in the world am I making a video showing you issues with brand new golf carts, especially considering they're 2 brands that we sell? Well, because those 2 family stories are just 2 of thousands we hear each and every year. They bought a golf cart that's brand new and they're super unhappy with it because it's unreliable, it has issues, and I feel like a lot of people make poor decisions on who they're buying from or what golf cart they're buying because the lack of information on the internet about this. So the most important decision you will make when you're buying a brand new golf cart is choosing what dealer you will purchase from. Not the brand, not lithium versus lead acid batteries, not gas, not lifted versus non-lifted. The most important decision you will make is the dealer you're choosing to buy from. Now, instead of me talking your ear off and trying to prove my point with words, let's go back to the Evolution D5 because it's gonna help prove my point for me. So again, this D5 is brand new and you saw all the issues I labeled earlier with it, and instead of the dealer recognizing and fixing all those issues before they gave it to the customer, they did not. And now here it is in our hands to fix it. Took about 45 minutes to fix everything on the cart. I'm not gonna be able to fix that center pod. That's way too scratched. It's gonna need to be replaced or just repainted. I was able to buff everything on the front end and make that look brand new, so that's exciting. Also drove it out and took my alignment tools with me and made sure the alignment was good. And actually drive straight down the road with the steering wheel straight. The whole purpose of this video, again, is why am I doing that now and instead of the dealer that sold this cart to them? This is all about why the dealer you choose is the most important decision you will make when you're buying a golf cart. Guess what their number 1 concern was when they were shopping for an Evolution D5? Price. Their number 1 concern was price. And you can bet your butt that when you're shopping for the lowest possible price golf cart, no matter what the make and model is, do you think you're actually going to get the best product? You might have thought that before when you thought every cart shows up perfect. It's all comparing apples to apples. Every cart out there, every Evolution shows up to a dealership just 100% perfect. That is not even close to the case. This is the reason I wanted to make this as my example instead of just talking your ear off, even though I am in this video, to show you what happens behind the scenes. Everything you saw me with tools in my hand working on the cart is what good dealers do before the cart is actually in the customer's hands. The point of this is not to say, look how good we are at BA carts. The point is that there's a lot of dealers out there that are not doing this kind of prep work on these carts. And I know I've mentioned a checklist multiple times, and that's been a big thing I've seen people post about and email me about is checklist. So I'm gonna have a checklist you can download. You can click on the link in the description below. For the most part, it's just super simple stuff. Some of it's just as simple as making sure stuff works. And you'd be surprised how many dealers don't even do that. Making sure valve stems, you can buy a little valve stem tool and you can make sure your valve stems are actually tight. And speaking of that, making sure your PSI is correct. Then making sure your alignment's correct. Making sure bolts and nuts are tight. Making sure the audio works. Another part of the checklist, when you turn your headlights on, this is like in most golf carts, your license plate light will light up. Back here, that license plate is lighting up. Doing just a visual inspection. Like you saw earlier in the video, all these blemishes we had. Now, don't be taking this dang checklist into dealers and waving it in their faces and saying, BA Carts told me to freaking make sure you're doing this. Don't do that. I don't want to be making all the dealers out there mad at us because that's just not going to be good. I'm buddies with a lot of dealers out there. So don't be doing that. I'm just saying it's going to help educate you. And if nevertheless, after you get the cart from this dealer that you hopefully chose as the best dealer for you to buy from, you can take it through your own checklist when it's in your garage and make sure everything's okay. But before we get into why a brand new golf cart's not perfect, I just need to reiterate once again. Everything I just performed with this cart is because this customer purchased from a dealer that is more focused on churning and burning, quantity, not quality. If you don't want to be in the same position that these customers are in, then make sure you're buying from a good dealership that cares about quality, cares about customer service, does not care just about pumping carts out and letting problems be your issue. That'd be a bad dealer. So once again, that is why it is by far the most important decision you will make when you're buying a brand new golf cart, picking the best absolute dealer. Alrighty, to answer the second question on why the heck a brand new golf cart is not perfect, we're going to change it up a little bit. We're going to start a new class called The Life of a Golf Cart 101. The more you know about the golf cart you're buying, the more you'll realize how important your dealer is. Breathtaking stuff, I know. So what do I mean by the life of a golf cart? I mean from the moment it's made, the factory gives birth to the golf cart, then it's on a truck, and then it's at the dealership, then it's at your house. Look at that, look at that. Pretty fancy. Manufacturer. You know, golf carts are made in an assembly line. Let's say there's a quality control person, which every factory does. Let's say his name's Rich, and Rich walks in and all of his guys are freaking hungover or something, and they're supposed to build X amount of carts per day, but he notices they're all moving slow because they're all hungover. And then Rich's boss tells him, hey, you're expected to ship out 3 times more carts today than you normally do. So Rich is freaking out, and not only are his guys moving slowly, but now he knows he's got to kick it into gear and get a bunch of carts put on semis and shipped to dealers. So now, instead of Rich having 5 minutes to check each cart out to make sure it's perfect before it goes in delivery truck, he only has 10 seconds to look at every cart. Now, obviously I'm rationalizing here, but this kind of stuff happens each and every day. That is one variable right there, where if something could have gone wrong right there at the manufacturing level, that is going to end up being the dealer's problem. So how it was assembled, it could have just been one guy's bad day, and he didn't put a screw in correctly. He didn't plug something in correctly. He left the backup camera at a 90-degree angle, like you saw earlier. There's a million things that can happen here. So that's why I'm drawing this amazing illustration here to explain to you how many things can go wrong before it even reaches the dealer, especially before it reaches your house. This is per manufacturer as well. There's manufacturers out there that have a heck of a lot better fit and finish and don't have nearly as many issues, like Club Car. They don't typically have as many issues right out of the factory. Then let's say the golf cart gets done and now it's being put on a semi truck. Driving the carts onto the semi, the cart's being strapped down in the semi. The driver driving, he could have slammed on his brakes. He could have hit something. There's a million things that could go wrong while the carts are being transported from the manufacturer to the dealer. We see these issues all the time where there's a blemish, there's something rubbed off, the paint's rubbed off, the powder coat's rubbed off, or there's just full-on damage because of how the carts were stacked into the semi, how they were pulled in. A golf cart might have been backed into another golf cart while it was in the semi. And again, the delivery driver's not gonna fix the front end of the golf cart if he backs it or if he drives into the front of a golf cart in front of him. You think the delivery guy is gonna fix that? He's not. The dealer's gonna freaking fix that. Actually, I'll show you right now. Follow me, Keely. I'll show you a cart we just got in not too long ago. Again, Club Car does an amazing job keeping their carts from hitting each other and their trucks. But right here is a prime example. If you look here, all this paint's rubbed off right there and right there. There's big gouges. And what happened is, even though Club Car keeps big padding on the backside of their footrest, like I explained earlier, how they protect the footrest when they're flipped up. Well, that cart showed up like that, with the front end just completely gouged. At some point, it must have ran right into the footrest of a cart in front of it and caused that issue. And again, do you think the delivery guy's gonna fix that? No, the dealer is. Again, right here at this level, the delivery level, it's a whole other thing, a bunch of other variables that could go wrong in one individual golf cart that the dealer is gonna be responsible for. And if he's not gonna fix the issues that might happen here at the manufacturing level or here at the delivery level, this dealer could pass on this golf cart right down to you, and you're gonna have all these issues you're dealing with. Then the golf cart finally is delivered to the dealer. So not only does a good dealer fix all the issues on the carts that are out of their control, there's a lot of other things that can happen here that are in their control that they're messing up themselves. Club Car Onwards are half built. They need it fully assembled. And there's a bunch of little things, as you saw earlier, that the dealer can do to make the cart not perfect, like the footrest not even being attached, or the mirrors not being tightened, the alignment not being correct. A lot of dealers leave golf carts sit outside. It is what it is, because it takes a lot of buildings and storage to keep all your brand new golf carts inside. A lot of dealers out there don't even clean them when they're delivering them to you. They might hose it down, but hosing a golf cart down is not the same thing as detailing it. So right again there, if a customer has spent 10, 12, 15, 20 grand on a golf cart, you'd think they'd expect it to be showing up brand new, looking like brand new, not looking like it just sat outside. Then finally, the golf cart is at your house. So all of that stuff, there's I mean, countless amounts of things, from a small little detail that happened at the manufacturer that made your golf cart just slightly incorrect. And then during shipping, another thing that could have damaged it a little bit. And then at the dealer, whether it came down to assembly or the dealer making sure everything is correct on it and fixing anything that could have possibly happened here, there's all these things that can happen that's going to affect your golf cart's quality, dependability, longevity, the functionality of it, the cosmetics, the mechanics of it, all that stuff. I'm saying a bunch of big words, I'm so smart. The reason I'm showing you the life of a golf cart is because there's a lot of things that happens before this dang golf cart arrives to your doorstep. And that's the reason why brand new golf carts aren't necessarily always perfect. It's not like every single golf cart being built is spick and span perfect and going to arrive to your doorstep with no cosmetic issues, no mechanical issues, no electrical issues. That's just not the reality of, you know, buying a golf cart or any toy. Let's get that just past. Any toy, nothing's gonna be perfect unless there's a dealer that is going through that vehicle, making sure that it's 100% ready for you, the customer, in every single possible way, shape, or form. So to bring this video to a close, if you're still watching, thank you. I know I've been rambling and talking a bunch, but I got a point that I'm trying to make. The most important decision you're gonna make is the dealer you're purchasing from. If you want a golf cart that looks good, is dependable, and works. All this work I just showed you I was doing on that golf cart earlier, the keen eye for detail, all that comes at a cost. If a dealer is just getting golf carts off a semi and taking them directly to you without even touching them, then they have a heck of a lot less time and labor involved with each golf cart they're selling. So they're gonna naturally be able to sell that golf cart even cheaper if they're barely touching it, as opposed to a dealer that's spending 3, 4, 5, 6 hours taking every single golf cart through a checklist, putting 6 hours of labor into each cart. That comes at a price, and they're gonna charge for that. So more often than not, the dealer that has the better quality is also gonna be a higher price. As a dealer with low quality, the price is gonna be lower. That's just how it is. Brand new golf carts are not always perfect. This is the second emphasis on why the dealer is so dang important. If golf carts were perfect, if every brand new golf cart built was amazingly perfect, everything worked, nothing was scratched, everything was aligned, there was no electronic issues whatsoever, every delivery driver had white glove delivery and it was never damaged in shipping, if literally every single brand new golf cart showed up to a dealership perfect, then the dealership would not be as nearly as important. But that is not the case for any golf cart OEM. And we sell a lot of different OEMs here. We sell a lot of brands here, and that is the case in most scenarios. Most golf carts don't show up 100% perfect. And you'll be able to download that checklist, like I said earlier. It's just kind of a simple checklist that you can take most golf carts through. And then last but not least, encouragement. I feel like I've been really cynical and making people feel like, oh no, there's no freaking good golf cart out there to buy. And every golf cart that's brand new has a bunch of issues with it. And every dealer out there sucks. It's not the case at all. Like I said earlier, there's a bunch of amazing dealers out there that perform phenomenal work on every golf cart they sell to every single customer they sell to. So my words of encouragement is just that there's plenty of good dealers out there to buy from. If you're shopping for the correct things, like quality instead of just price, then you're gonna have a good success of buying a good golf cart that's brand new, that looks perfect. With that being said, thank you for watching. It's a lot of talking in this video, so I apologize, but there was just a lot of information I feel like that was not out there on the internet that needs to be stated, and talk about the back end, the behind the curtains of the golf cart world, what happens at dealerships, what happens at manufacturers, what happens to a golf cart before it arrives to your doorstep. And if you have a second as well, make sure you, I don't know how to draw I'll just draw this. How does that work? Make sure you subscribe to our channel if you want to see more videos like this, helping golf cart owners and help golf cart shoppers like yourself. So thank you for watching, and good luck golf cart shopping.